Have you ever noticed something strange? Sometimes, when life feels dull or heavy, one small irritation suddenly fills you with energy. A disagreement, an offense, a moment of anger, and suddenly, you are awake, alert, focused, alive. Your thoughts become sharp. Your body feels charged. Your mind begins preparing arguments, defenses, imagined conversations. It almost feels like strength. But what if part of that energy comes not from vitality, but from survival mode? When we experience anger, fear, or conflict, the nervous system activates instantly. Stress hormones flood the body. Hidden reserves of energy are released. The same biological response that once helped humans survive danger. For a moment, apathy disappears. You feel powerful. Yet this energy is borrowed, not created. It comes from emergency reserves, resources meant for rare moments of protection, not daily living. And when conflict becomes a habit, the body quietly pays the price later through exhaustion, anxiety, or emotional burnout. Perhaps this is why many peaceful people age more gently. They spend less time living in internal battles. Negativity can become addictive in subtle ways. Conflict gives intensity. Comparison gives motivation. Resentment gives direction. A person can replay one grievance for years and unknowingly fuel their life through resistance alone. But energy generated through struggle carries a certain emotional tone. Tension, defensiveness, competition, anger. It keeps the nervous system prepared for war even when no real danger exists. And sometimes, without realizing it, people begin fighting invisible battles everywhere. In conversations, in relationships, inside their own thoughts. We compare ourselves. We argue internally. We rehearse conflicts that may never happen. Families can become quiet battlefields, not with weapons, but with expectations, silence, criticism, or unspoken resentment. These are emotional wars, and every war, even an invisible one, consumes enormous energy. When much of our inner life is spent resisting or defending, there is little strength left for creation, joy, or self-realization. It may feel as though life itself is exhausting, when in reality, we are exhausted from fighting. Many of us grew up with the belief that happiness must be earned through struggle, that life is competition, that peace is temporary and conflict inevitable. But what if this is only a learned pattern? Day and night coexist without fighting. Light and shadow do not argue. Nature moves through balance, not constant opposition. Perhaps the same balance is available within us. Ending inner conflict does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending to be endlessly positive. Forced positivity eventually breaks, also because ignored emotions do not disappear. Peace begins differently. It begins when you consciously stop feeding unnecessary battles, when you notice a thought attacking someone and let it pass, when you choose understanding over winning, when you step out of comparison. Something subtle changes. Your nervous system softens. Energy stops leaking into imagined conflicts, and slowly, space appears inside you again. From that space, different emotions become possible. Warmth, curiosity, creativity, affection. Many people search for love, believing another person will bring it into their lives. Yet love struggles to enter a heart constantly preparing for defense. Connection grows where safety exists, and safety begins within. You cannot control whether others carry tension or anger, but you can choose not to continue the chain reaction. When you stop fighting internally, your presence changes. Your reactions slow, your words soften, and often, the world begins responding differently, not because reality changed, but because your relationship with it did. Perhaps the deepest shift is this. Energy does not have to come from conflict. It can come from meaning, from calm focus, from quiet appreciation of being alive. Peace is not passivity. It is conserved strength. And maybe the real transition happening in many lives today is simple. People are growing tired of war, even the invisible kind. So today, you might gently ask yourself, where am I still fighting when I no longer need to? And what would happen if I allowed myself to live, not in survival, but in peace?